windy seagrass on the shores. Do something like that. Yeah.
Seaweed.
Seagrass.
Yeah.
The wispy seagrass. Wispy. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of the Whiskey Whisperers. I'm Kevin.
I'm Nick. And
tonight we are going to try a new bottle of whiskey. And this one's kind of different because it's a barrel brand, their Seagrass batch.
Yeah, you may or may not have come across that brand, just searching out there. They do have a lot of different releases, a lot of small batch stuff. They do have a handful of specifically named releases that go through a certain finish or multiple barrel finishes, and this is one of them. This is the Seagrass Rye whiskey. I know there's another one called Dovetail. Yeah, I thought this one sounded super unique and interesting. So
when you think about seagrass, though, you think salty sea air, the wind, all of those scenery type things, those images. And I'm wondering if maybe this is going to taste like a salty sea air kind of thing, where it's light and crisp but
almost like Bainbridge.
Yeah, like Bainbridge. It kind of brings you back to that when you've ever been to the ocean and you have that I don't know, that salty sea air smell in the ocean. But I don't know. I am reading the description online. It says something about this really sweet, like candy store nose to it. And some of the bite to it because of the rye. So I'm kind of curious to see how this is really going to play out, because when we saw this in the store, I thought, wow, this could be interesting. And Nick was like all about barrel. So
I just wanted to try. I've never tried any of their spirits, but I've only heard good things. They've won a lot of medals at like the World Spirit competition in San Francisco and stuff like that. So
yep. And now this is a blended whiskey. This is blended with rye whiskey and Canadian whiskey, right? Is that what it's stated?
American and Canadian rye whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is a blended whiskey, but I like the colors because I love the Seahawks. So there's my colors right there. So that works. But on the other hand,
it's like the old school blue.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what this is going to taste like. So let's open the bottle and check it out. So Nick, so how much was this bottle when we got it at the store?
After our ridiculous state taxes and everything, it was like $150.
Okay.
So they don't make cheap bottles.
Yeah.
But
so this is going to be on the high end spectrum, I think.
So rye whiskey finish in Martinique rum, Madeira, and apricot brandy barrels. Okay. So I think that's just reading that on the front label, I think is what made me choose this one, just because that sounded super unique and interesting. Yeah. But yeah, they even handwrite the bottle number on the label, and they write out the proof and the alcohol by volume and everything, so it's very cool. I love handwritten labels and stuff like that. It kind of gives that personal touch. It does smell quite sweet.
Does it?
It's got a complex aroma though.
It's got a nice color. I don't know if you can see that, and the camera's picking that up. It does have a nice
very
light color. Yeah, very honey color to it. Ooh.
It smells really good.
Yeah. Yeah, that does smell. You can almost pick up the apricots smell too on the nose.
I think because it is partially finished in rum casks, it's probably contributes to the sweetness. And also brandy is inherently one of the sweeter spirits as well. So
I don't know if you can see that, but that's a very beautiful color. Looks very light.
Yeah,
pretty clear.
It's very clear, very bright in color.
It does leave a slight film on the inside of the glass.
It runs a little quickly, so it might not be
full bodied, maybe.
Super lingering on the palate.
It smells really good. You do get a bit of a sweetness on the nose. Interestingly enough, I'm picking up like a toasted caramel.
I'm almost picking up like taffy, like saltwater taffy.
Oh, I'm a big fan of saltwater taffy. So
like that's just what it's reminding me of for some reason.
Yeah, very.
Because like regardless of the flavor, saltwater taffy has that base like flavor to it. Definitely kind of reminds me of that.
All right, cheers.
It's got such a stronger flavor than I expected, just based on how dark it was, and doesn't linger too much in the mouth after it's gone. I think I can really taste the brandy though.
Yeah.
Like I'm picking up sort of that apricot.
I swished it in my mouth and I instantly felt a very peppery sensation in my mouth. Almost to the point where for me it almost was a little overpowering to taste.
For me, it's almost like Pop Rocks, but without the punch. That's sort of like almost tingly type. Yeah. That's
actually a good explanation, because that's kind of what I feel is like that bite of pop rock, but not actually popping. Interesting enough, on the back end, I'm getting almost a hint of grassy notes. Not like a beer hoppiness, but like a very subtle, it reminds me of like you smelling the salty sea grass in a way. It's not bad, it's not anything like, oh gosh, I don't want to drink grass, but it's got a unique flavor towards the back end.
Yeah.
So, but it's sweet up front, I think.
Yeah. It's definitely got a sweetness, I think, kind of all the way through, even with that bit of pepperiness too.
Yep.
And I think that obviously is because of the brandy and the rum barrels that it's finished in.
Now, I think what would be unique to this is if we were cut it with a little water, and see the flavors really pop versus.
See how different it is.
Yeah. Very unique. This is actually pretty enjoyable. So,
I still am kind of like, even after the smell or whatever, I'm kind of getting that leftover, saltwater taffy type.
All right. I bet you that's what they were talking about when they were talking about the candy store experience, where you walk into a candy store and you smell all those different flavors, and it brings you back to like cotton candy and everything's, and it's like, oh, super sweet. But realistically, this has a really good punch to it. But it's not sickening sweet, like, oh gosh, I can't drink this. I think this is, but us talking about Pop Rocks and saltwater taffy.
It's not as sweet as like Tail of Cake was.
Right.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet. But I really feel like it does bring you to that candy store feel of walking into a candy store and seeing, all this nostalgic candy and stuff. And, like I said, the Pop Rocks and the saltwater taffy and the sweetness. It's not overpowering, it's not lingering, but it's there in a very subtle way. Like I said, it's very enjoyable, but don't take our word for it. This is just our opinion. We definitely want you to like and subscribe to our channel and comment down below, because maybe you've tasted this and you don't like it, or maybe you love it. We'd love to hear from you. And if you see something that we haven't tried yet, definitely drop us a comment and let us know, hey, why don't you try this next time, or whatever. We definitely love to hear from you, and so don't be shy with it. And I think this is a great whiskey for sure. So what would you rate this?
Honestly, I think because of the uniqueness, and I think the flavor itself is very unique as well. Like, definitely distinctive for sure. I think I'm gonna give it a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Wow. 9 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. That's crazy.
And it's very smooth too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really like it a lot.
Wow. Well, I'm going to be conservative because, hey, that's just me. I think because of the pop rock sensation and stuff, and this is just my take on it, I'm going to give it like an 8. Just because to me it's smooth, but it's bitey.
I almost like it though.
Yeah.
It's almost fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a burn. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's just something, it just is such a unique feeling, like when it's in your mouth and right after you swallow. It's almost in the back of the tongue. It's just kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but.
Well, how did that go again? Okay, just making sure. Yeah. So there you have it, folks. That's kind of what we're thinking of Barrel. We do recommend this. It's actually really good. Like I said, you might have tried this, you might have not, but like and subscribe and comment down below and let us know what you think.
If you're looking for something not crazy expensive, but also definitely more on the more expensive side of things, then Barrel's probably a brand you might want to check out.
That's all we got for tonight. Thanks again for joining us.
Here's to your next whiskey adventure. Cheers.
Cheers. That's a big drink.